Flosstube, welcome to Creative Whim Studio. I hope everyone had a wonderful week and a amazing 4th of July weekend. We didn't go see fireworks. It's one of those things, like if I go somewhere to see fireworks, I love it. I absolutely love it. But if we don't have plans to go anywhere, I'm fine staying home. Our fireworks were the fireflies. We kept going outside because we stood out on our deck on the 4th of July. It was probably 9:45 and it was dark out, and you could hear fireworks 360, because I know this year so many events were canceled that people were shooting off their own fireworks, and I'm sure not all of those were legal fireworks. There was I don't know, I saw an article about that, how many, how much money people spend on fireworks this year, especially because a lot of things were canceled. So anyways, we stood on our deck and we could hear the fireworks like crazy. But we have a lot of trees around us, and we walked down the driveway, and the moon was gorgeous. The moon was like this, just a big ball of orange. And the farmer, actually it's not the farmer, the gentleman at the end of the road, he rents out his land to the farmer. Excuse me. Sorry. And they planted corn this year. Corn is beautiful, but it blocks our view, so it's kind of a bummer. I'd rather have them do beans. But anyways, just above the corn, there were just fireflies lighting up everywhere. That was our fireworks anyways. Supposed to be a lunar eclipse. I don't know if my husband bumped his head or what, but he was so excited about it. But it wasn't going to be until like midnight. It was like 11:15, and I was exhausted. I worked my hiney off in the gardens last weekend, sorry, weeding. I hadn't done anything in my flower beds in a long time, and the weeds totally took over. So I was just ripping and tearing. Plus I have a couple of invasive plants. Never buy spiderwort. What are some of the other ones that just take over an area? Oh God, those darn lilies you see growing on the side of the road, the orange ones, daylilies, they will creep up everywhere, and I'm constantly pulling them out. So I told my husband, I said, you know what, this fall, because I have this like kidney shaped bed, and I have a bird bath in it that's super cool, made out of cement. It looks super grungy and old. And I said, I'm ripping this whole bed out. I want to add more dirt and make it more of a mound, because it's kind of level with the ground. And the rocks, if the grass gets a little bit tall, you don't see the cool rocks around it. So anyways, I want to raise that whole bed up and just redo it, because there's poison ivy starting to grow in there. There's just all kinds of, grass got in it. And once the grass gets in it, you can't get rid of it. So I'm just ready to just start over in that bed. There's a lot of beds I want to just completely demolish and start over, but one at a time. I'm only human. So anyways, the lunar eclipse. So I went to bed, and so I woke up in the morning. And I said, well, Cal, how was it? And he's like, I fell asleep. So he fell asleep on the couch. He missed it anyways. I don't even know if it really, I didn't hear anything about it. Like no one made a big deal about it. So I don't know that if it was, good viewing or not for that. But okay, so announcements this week. I've decided to extend the time that you can join session 2 of CW Live until this Friday. So it's going to go through this Friday, I should say. So if you have been on the fence about it, you have until this Friday at midnight to join it. You will miss the first live, which is tonight. That's no big deal because they're recorded and uploaded, so you can see them anyways. But I'm getting a lot of people joining at the last minute. I had someone join just this morning. So I thought, well, maybe I'll give it a little bit more time, because you don't have to do the live. You can watch the recordings, and so it's all good. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a live Facebook, hopefully sometime today, announcing that. What else? I will be, oh yeah. So I cleaned out an area in my studio that was just atrocious. It's where I do my tutorials for my punch needle and cross stitch finishing. It's where I record like tutorials, like my punch needle tutorial, art tutorials, and it just was overcome with paints and just stuff everywhere. It was a whole hot mess. I cleaned it 4 hours last night. I worked until 8 o'clock, and then this morning I got up and came down here and finished it in about 3 hours. I have a oh my God. Athena, quit. I have a short, Athena, welcome to my life. So I have a short little clip that I'm going to insert so that you can see. I didn't do a before picture because it was so bad. I was embarrassed to even show you. So it looks all nice and clean and organized. I know now where everything's at, and it just is such a load off my mind. But that's where I want to film my CW Live, because every week I have to set up, I have to move tables, I got to set up the lights, set up the tripods for the cameras, and it's like, no, I'm done with that. I want to just come down here and do my lesson. So that's what's inspired that whole ordeal. I spent 7 hours, about 4 hours last night and 3 hours this morning, cleaning this area. I should have took a before picture, but I didn't, because it was so embarrassing that it's probably good that I didn't. So when you first walk into my studio, this is directly to the right. Like, there's the man door. So this is directly to the right. And this counter was just junk piled. Like, to find something on it was ridiculous. So I brought this cool cupboard over from the other side of the studio that had just some random things on it. It wasn't really being used. So I have it chock full of supplies. So having cleaned all my paints and organized my paints, like, I've got them by color. So I got a bunch of blue paints in there. I've got all my earth tones and cream colors in there. These are just cardboard boxes. I'm going to look for something that's kind of primitive. But for now, these will do. This is all my flesh tone colors. And then this is all my reds, yellows, and oranges. And then I have overflow. And I have a bunch of different, Mod Podge. Crackle. Right there. That's the crackle I use. Evidently, I was afraid I would run out. So I just, every time I placed an order, I must have ordered some. I had boxes of art supplies that I never even put the stuff away. So I didn't know what I had. So now I know what I have. I love all the brushes up there. I think that looks cool. And then these, I had painted or stained this dark black. They were just like a raw wood from Joann's. And we use them, I used them when I did retail shows. But I don't do retail shows anymore, so they came in very handy. Then here's all like tracing paper and all that kind of stuff. Some, flat panels, some sticky board, because this is also the area I do all my finishing. And then I've got all this is like pastels. I have alcohol paints. Don't know why. What was I thinking? I have stuff that I've never used before, like all the stuff to do acrylic pouring, which I will do someday because I want to. That painting right there that I never finished. This is all just full of colored pencils and stencils. A little punch needle that I want to finish on that piece. And then this corner has, look at all that crackle, you guys. Some of my reader glasses. These cool bangles that I bought years ago. I wanted to hand paint on them. They're just wooden bangles to put on your wrist. I love them. Who has time to paint jewelry? Like, seriously. So, it's not completely done. There used to be a water cooler here. I moved that to the other side of the studio because really, I
I didn't like it being by the window. So there's that. Then this is my work area. So the main reason that I started doing this is because tonight starts the session 2 of CW Live, and I usually have to set up for it every single time. So I'm like, no, I'm cleaning this area out. I covered my table, this is a table from Sam's that I accidentally hit the off button, that is raised up by these wood things that a friend of mine made. There's canvases and boxes and things under here. So it's nice. It's like waist height. It's perfect for filming. So I have a box, this box here, and then this right here is like an arm that comes over, and that's what I'm going to record with my phone. There's also another tripod there, as you can see right here. That's what I use to record with my camera. And I got this big light up there. I got some extra tripods over here. So anyways, now for CW Live, it's going to be set up every week. I won't have to do anything. And I'm super happy. I put my little Santa painting up there. I have all of my favorites hanging. And I just hung this one like 5 minutes ago because this is the painting that I painted with my soul sister Kristen when I was in Tennessee with her. We did a Witch Painting Wednesday in her studio. And so every time I see that, I think of her. This is our old logo when we had Primitive Folk. And I did a watercolor painting of my logo, and that would hang in my booth when I did shows. And then this is the original samplers that I still haven't charted, but it's cool. My favorite part is that those black horses pulling that little chariot with that funny looking guy with the striped skirt. I love it. So someday I will get that charted. Anyways, that's it, guys. That's my 7-hour project of cleaning and organizing my paints, my brushes, my pencils, I mean, everything. I have so much stuff. I was saying I could sit here and lock myself in the studio and probably paint for an entire year and never run out of supplies. I have that many supplies. Oh yeah, because even under here, see that thing with the green lid? That is all paint, organized by color in there. Yeah, I'm telling you, I got me some paints. Peace out.
Okay, so not last week, but the week before that video, Catherine Birkenbein, she wanted to stitch Land That I Love. She wanted to stitch it on Ada, but they don't have, what's the gray? Tin roof. So she was asking if anybody knew, or she's asking me, but I don't know. So I asked you all, and I got some replies. So I'm just going to go through those. Susan said, Picture This Plus has Ada in a variety of colors. Menudo Fan, she said 14 count pewter by in Ada would be good. Janine Wilcox said light gray, 1, 2, 3 stitch, light gray Ada. And then Beth said she actually contacted 1, 2, 3 stitch, and they recommend tumbleweed 16 count Ada. And then Fat Quarter Shop. Oh, I didn't say who gave me that. I'm sorry. Somebody mentioned Fat Quarter Shop, pewter or touch of gray. Okay, so there you go. You have some options there, Catherine. I hope you find something that works for you. All right, moving on to question and answer. Vicki said, would you consider printing the Santa up for Christmas cards? I don't know. Normally somebody says, oh, would you do this? And I go, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I find a printer and I print it, and I'm just like, I'm crazy like that. And I need to slow down because, I got all these, well, I only have 2 needle minders. I've got 2 more on order that are supposed to be here mid-July. So I don't know if I want to add cards to that list as well. I can do it so that they are printed on demand. It'll make them a little bit more expensive, and the packaging's not going to be super cute or anything. It will be a third party. They'll print it and ship it directly to you, so I won't have anything to do with it other than uploading the artwork. And then I don't know if they print on the inside of the card. So there's just some things that I would have to check into. But as far as printing them and having inventory here, I doubt I'm going to do that. I will contact Crown Point because that is the company that does a lot of my cards, and see if he's interested in making a Christmas card out of it. Sean Matthews said, or asked, I wondered if you have tried cross stitch yet. I have not. I have not had time to get with Donna. I plan on going to Donna. Fida she lives about an hour away, going to her house, and she's going to teach me everything I need to know about cross stitch, linens, everything. So I haven't yet. Actually, I'm going to have to learn quickly. No, I'm going to have to do like maybe 10 stitches on a sampler that's being sent back to me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jerry Inglis, she lives in Canada. She's an amazing stitcher. She has stitched my samplers, some of my samplers. She just finished one, and she sent me a picture of it, and she said, okay, now look this over and make sure I didn't miss anything. I looked it over. It looked great. Then she got it all sent back to me. It's on its way back to me now. And I don't know if somebody said something to her, or she noticed. Anyway, somehow Jerry's like, oh, there's a little band on one of the flower baskets that is supposed to be stitched in black. That little band is not stitched. There's maybe 10, 12 stitches there. And she goes, well, maybe you have a cross stitcher nearby that can do that for you, or you should try it yourself. So I thought, it's just a few stitches. And I'll do it, and if they don't look good, I'll take them out, because I'm not going to ruin the sampler, because Jerry's a beautiful stitcher, and I don't want to ruin the sampler with my horrible stitching. So I'll see how it turns out first. Hannah Mansfield said, do you have or give punch needle classes, or can you recommend a tutorial? Hannah, thanks for asking. Yes, I have a punch needle tutorial. You can look up now. Actually, I responded to her through YouTube comments, but it is gatherdreamcreate.com/punch-toot, T-U-T-E. And I have it right here on the screen. I also have a link in the description box, but it's a pretty thorough, this is my second time recording a punch needle tutorial. So I kind of learned like things that I left out on the first one. So it's very, very comprehensive. It goes into great detail, and also the price is $37, but you get, I forget how many free PDF downloads that you get, which offsets the cost of the tutorial. So basically you get, patterns to practice on or to work with, and it offsets the cost. So thanks, Hannah. And then Debbie, last question. She said, how can we get the Santa? That Santa is very popular. I'm going to make prints of him 8x10, 11x14, 16x20, and I'm going to do that sometime this week. Today is, by the way, Tuesday, July 7th. It's been a week since my last video. I wanted to do it this weekend, but it was a holiday weekend, and I really wanted to work in the yard even though it was scorching hot. It's still in the 90s here. What is going on? This is Michigan, y'all. When my family from Missouri would come up when I was growing up, they would come up like once a year, and they'd come up in the summer, and it never failed. The week they would come up in the summer, it would be like in the 60s, and they're freezing, and they're like, I don't know how you can stand summers like this. Well, they didn't say it like that. My family from Missouri is beautiful. I love them so much. But no, they would say, gosh, your summers are so cool. And they'd leave, and then it would crank up in the 80s. It just seemed to happen every time they came. But man, it's ridiculous now. Okay, whips. I don't have any punch needle whips because craziness has ensued. Craziness is my life. I do have one that I was working on for Witch Paint Wednesday. She is pretty much done, except the antiquing. I love her soft, sweet little face and her one wing. I so wish I would have moved her into the center a little bit more, so I could have put part of another wing over here. And I also love her hair. She looks like she has dreads. But when I make this into a print, you can see I changed the background color. The background was more of a blue. I added some nice rose pink color tones in there. It looks almost like a sunset. So I'm going to, when I scan her, I'm going to Photoshop this wing
over here and make it a longer painting so that she has 2 wings. Because it's really bothered me. There's just like this huge wing over here and nothing over here. So that's my whip. We didn't have CW Live last week because we're in between sessions, so we didn't start anything. Tonight we are starting a painting called Bella's New Friend. And Bella is a cow, and Bella is standing in a flower garden, and there's a little bird on one of the flowers, and it's a little black and white cow, and he's kind of looking at it. So anyway, that's what we're painting tonight in CW Live. Okay, finishes. I'm going to show you previous finishes. This will be the last of that bin finally, and I can get it out of my studio and put it back on the shelf over there. So that'll be nice to get that done. So I'm going to pause here and go around and just hold them up for you. Okay, our first guy is Mr. Green Jeans. Is he not adorable? I remember, I love how sometimes when you're creating something, it brings back memories of like what you were doing or where you were at when you were doing the project. Well, this one is very fond to me because this was when I went to Dolphin Island with Kristen and her daughter, Gabby, and Gabby's fur baby, Turbo. Yeah, I remember sitting on the beach, punching this. Love it. Here's an oldie but goodie, Tiger Cat. This is also available in cross stitch. And this is just finished on a plaque from Joanne. And this one actually is on a piece I didn't show you. It's on a piece of tin. Galvanized metal sign. This was from Hobby Lobby. And I painted it a flat black, added the star. At the bow, I might have added that. Yeah, I think I added the wire and the bow. It might have had something else on it. Anyways. This was from Punchneedle Primitive Stitchers magazine. I believe it was summer of 2018. And this one is available in cross stitch. It's in my Celebrate 15 Years of Needlework book. This is also from Punchneedle Primitive Stitcher magazine, spring of, I want to say 2019, I think. Here's an oldie but goodie. This one is called, oh, I don't remember. Calico Snowman? I don't remember what his name is. Oh, anyways. He's available in cross stitch as well. But I love the background on this, how the stars are punched in black. And then I don't know what the color is for the background, but I love it. I outlined them in the black. And I love that he's on this iron pan, square iron pan. Now, I'm always on the lookout for these square pans. I can't seem to find them. Then we have Blessings to You. This one is also available in cross stitch, but something about Punchneedle with that red background. I love it so much. But you know what? You could stitch it on a red linen or Ada, whatever it is you prefer, but on a red, because on my chart it's just this, I almost said snowman. It's just the sheep. I don't even know if there's any ground in the chart, but and then this is just on a wooden horn book, and I put a little black scalloped edge painted on around it. I love this one. This one is also available in cross stitch. It's just on a cool whitewashed, I don't know what you call this thing, but shelf setter. I don't know if you could hang this on the shelf and set something on top of it. I love it. Love, love, love. Okay, we're getting into some more recent ones. This is what is this one? You guys, I can't remember the names of all these. Anyway, This is available in cross stitch as well. This is a very popular design. This is on a piece of like burlap. You can see it. I think I got that at Joann. And then the last two, I think it's the last two. These came out in 2019. Or no, was it at Market 2019? I don't even remember. You guys, it's all running together. It's all running together. So this one is called Mary Hill. And I love how cool and primitive it is. This, I know, I said I was going to do it in cross stitch. I still have plans to do this pair in cross stitch because I love them so much. And I love that background. I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to see if you guys can zoom in on that background. There we go. So if we zoom in, can you see that color background? I love it. That's what I love about Punchneedle. So yeah, those two go together and they're just so stinking cute. I don't know, these things, where'd I get these from? Walnut Hollow, I think that's from Joann. But aren't they cool? I painted, obviously, they were just raw. And I painted black in the center and then the nice burgundy color around the edges. That's it, guys, for that bin. Can you believe we're finally through it? Oh, wait, no, I see more. Oh, yeah. Prim Rabbit. This was one of my earliest paintings I did for Primitive Folk when we first started our business back in 1990. Back in like 1994, 95, I did this. Oh, there's another one, Americana one, and it's all these bunnies doing a parade, and they got like bandages on, and he's playing the drums, and one's holding a flag. It's like a little bunny parade, but it's all Americana. Oh, it's super cute. I should do that one too. This one also is available in cross stitch. And then we have American Emblem. I love this piece. Park Designs did this a while back as a rug, but I love it. It started out as an original painting. I can show you the painting when I'm done doing this. So I got two more. Oh, everybody's favorite, For You. I tell you, this design in cross stitch and in Punchneedle has been one of my best sellers in forever. And this is on an old book, my favorite way of finishing. And again, this is on an old book too. Zoomy zoom. This one's called My Favorite Things, I think. And this one, I love this one because it represents my girlfriends that we go antiquing every year in Ohio for about 4 or 5 days. So the reason I say it reminds me of my girlfriends, the sunflower represents my friend. Wait, which one? I think that was Debbie. This is Debbie. The star represents my friend Linda. The crow represents my friend Jan, and the sheep represents myself. And it's just it just is perfect with those prim colors and everything. A tribute to my girlfriends. So while we're showing things of the past, I thought I would bring this out. This is an old antique piece of wood that I gotta turn this thing off. It's making my dog go crazy. Okay, so it's got a handle on it. Isn't it awesome? I love this painting. Yeah, and you can see the back, you know. Old breadboard, probably from a restaurant or something. And so then I made it into the Punchneedle. It's not, there we go. So you can see them both together. Oh, okay. Now we're on to haul, which means I have to stand up again. Actually, I think I can do it from here. So I got this amazing haul from JudDesign. She is from the UK, right?
Oh gosh, if I'm wrong, I'll put it down below here. But, and I already have a couple of them pulled for projects. So this, all right, so this was one of my design manias. It's only showing half of the design, but I wanted to be funny and called this Big Folk and Flower, but I decided to change it to Big Folk Flower because I didn't want to offend anybody. But just between you and me, I think Big Folk and Flower is hilarious. So anyways, this linen, look at the match. Look at that. So this, you know, when I charted this, that brown background, I wanted a linen that color, and look how perfectly that matches. To die for. Then I love this design. This is called Psalm 9111, and oh I forgot to tell you the name of that linen. My bad. That is 40 is a half a yard, 40 count dark mocha. Okay, these are all from JudDesigns. This one is chalkboard, which is exactly what I wanted for this one. So on this design, you can see the black stars. So I wanted to make sure that my DMC 310 would show up. So those black stars will pop on that chalkboard. That is awesome. That's getting sent out this week to one of my wonderful stitchers. Then we have another one that's ready to be sent out to a stitcher. I don't have anyone assigned to it yet. Which one was that? Oh, I guess I don't have to show the design. Anyways, it's this, okay. Anyways, it's this design. And her linen matched absolutely perfectly for this design. And the linen is mocha beige. I actually have the full piece, the big piece here. Mocha beige. Then we have Morning Coffee. I will have a link to her Etsy shop. Her Etsy shop. I don't know if that's even focusing. There we go. Her Etsy shop. You can purchase these from her. Look at that one. Look at the modeling in that. The nice darks with the rust. I mean, that looks like a rusted piece of metal. I love it so much. That one's called Reindeer. This one is called Bunny Mom. Oh, Bunny Mom. How cool is that? Aged Hazelnut. This one is dark beige. So this one's dark beige. This is the hazelnut. One's a little bit more yellow, one's a little bit more gray. And then we have Hot Cocoa. Hot Cocoa is gorgeous. Dark golden brown. Look at that. Perfect for Halloween stitching. Then we have Grandpa's Slip. Then we have, what does it say? Ah, I love this one. Spilled Coffee. I love that. Obviously, spilled. That's why we have the marks. Oh, I love it. Then we have brown. This is brown paper. Her modeling is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this next one coming up, you're gonna die. This one's called Jack-o'-lantern. Look at that. I love it. I absolutely love that. Then we have Dirty Brown. The modeling is beautiful. And oh my gosh, this next one, Elixir. Look at the speckles. Makes me think of a bird's egg. Love it. Oh, I think some samplers stitched on those linens will be fantastic. All right. Oh, what's new in the Etsy shop? Well, I can tell you this. When I was cleaning that area out, I found tons of like originals. I got a hair in my eye. I found a bunch of originals, guys. Like 10 by 10s, you know, smaller ones. They're not going to be super expensive, but they were paintings I did for my Creatively Balanced Life e-course. I had a folk art series. I had a boho series. I don't need all these paintings. So I want to offer these paintings to you all. I just need room. I'm storing way, you know, there's some originals I'm never going to part with, but I can't keep them all. And I'm going to be adding a ton of originals this coming week, the next couple weeks actually. But I forgot to grab some things that Ryan is going to be putting on Etsy, so I'm going to run and grab that right now. You might remember these dish towels when I did a giveaway. I can't remember how many subscribers I got, and I did this big giveaway. Anyways, I have these towels left over. I have 2 of this one. It says, "Let the joy of the season fill your heart." So if you decorate Northwoods, you will love that. Then I have All Creatures Large and Small, All Creatures Large and Small, He Loves Them, One and All. That one's adorable with the snowman. That's my favorite one. Then Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And then it's crossed out and it says Christmas. So these dish towels will be put on to my Etsy shop if they're not already by the time I upload this. I doubt they'll be up because he hasn't even photographed them yet. Then I have this beautiful plaque of a painting I did of Mary and baby Jesus. They cropped Joseph out. Joseph was in this painting too. But it didn't work for this shape. Oh, here's the original painting. And this is a nice plaque. It's made on a piece of slate. It's super cool. I'm trying not to get a glare on it. So there was only one of each of the things that I've showed so far. Then we've got this angel plaque. I only have one of those as well. And it's on a piece of slate. Has a hanger on it. It's actually not slate. It's made to look like slate, but it seriously looks like a piece of slate. So I guess I can't call it slate because it's really not. I have 2 of these. God, I might have to keep one of these. When you look, if there's only one, it's because I kept one. I don't have one of these in my collection, and I think I want to keep that. I absolutely love it. It's probably 10 inches diameter, 10 to 12 inches diameter. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I think I'm going to keep one. I really do. And then I love this piece, but I have the original of this, you guys, is huge. It's probably 30 by 12. I think it's 12 by 30 or 12 by 36 or something like that. But anyways, it shows the manger scene, and it's very, let me get a little bit closer. It's very primitive, painted very primitive, but I absolutely adore this. And I would have had a lot more of these things, but I donated the majority of it to Holy Rosary for their, for their auction dinner. So when I only have 1 or 2 of something, it's because I donated or gave them away as gifts. So that's what's new in the Etsy shop. Oh, and I know somebody asked me, when am I going to put my June releases into my Etsy shop? Sometime this week I will be doing that as well, because I know some of you don't have an LNS and you wait to order from me on Etsy. And I know there's a lot of Etsy shops that carry my stuff too, so maybe you've already purchased what you need, but in case you're waiting for me, I'm just letting you know I'm going to be uploading that this week. All right, what do we have next? Okay, giveaway. So y'all, I didn't give you a keyword, so everyone was entered. I'm going to insert, oh, and the prize is Snarky Cat cross stitch chart. Again, if you're the winner and you don't think you're going to stitch it, let me know. I can draw another name. So I'm going to insert the YouTube random comment picker here. The winner is Tammy Coyle. She says, "Just love your designs. Thank you." Thank you, Tammy, and thank you everyone for participating. Congratulations, Tammy. If you could just look up now here's my email address, teresakogut3@gmail.com. Please email me within a week and let me know that you won, and just put snarky cat chart for me so I don't, because I forget and then I have to go look it up. It just helps if it's in the email for me. And if I don't respond, then I didn't get it. So please, you know, reply to me again. And I've had people that I have actually responded to, oh, I'll get that in the mail Monday. And then like 3 weeks later, they're like, well, I never got my chart. And they don't say it like that. They're almost embarrassed to say, I hate to even bring this up because, you know, you're giving it away free, but I never received it. And then I'll look and I'm like, okay, because I never sent it. So please don't feel bad. If you've won something and I tell you that I'm going to send it and then you don't get it, just shoot me a quick email. And because it's possible I forgot. It gets lost in the shuffle sometimes because we have lots of orders coming in to the studio. So never feel bad about that. Okay. One thing I want to bring up since I'm on that kind of topic. I think I'm going to say this every single video because it bears repeating. COVID is still an issue. So the post office is still very slow. If you order something like a couple charts, it's going to go first class envelope. There's no tracking on it. I cannot track it for you. When I ship it, I will mark it shipped in Etsy. Etsy gives an estimated time or an estimated date that you should have your package. I wish Etsy wouldn't do that. I really wish they wouldn't do that because I'm getting messages every day through Etsy from people asking, it said it was going to be here by then. It's been a day or two after that. I still don't have it. And I have to reply to all these people. I have, you know, it's just time consuming for me to reply. Please know, if I mark it shipped, it's on its way to you. COVID has slowed everything down. As you know, it's hard to get linen sometimes. It's hard to get, you know, certain floss colors. It's just the way it is, and it's going to be that way for God knows how long. So please, when Etsy gives you an estimated date that it should be there, it doesn't mean it's going to be there by then. I cannot track just an envelope. If your order was shipped priority mail, then I have a tracking number for that. So that's a whole different story. But if you didn't pay for priority mail, I'm not going to have a tracking number for you. So, you know, just know that it's going to get there. It's so funny because I'll reply to people and then the next day they're like, oh, guess what? It just showed up, you know? So it would just save me time. It would save you time just to know that it can take up to 3 weeks to get something that is just shipped, you know, in an envelope. Okay. I'm not trying to be rude, and I love hearing from you all, but I'm just trying to cut down on my workload by just saying it right now to y'all as a blanket statement. Okay. All right. So I'm going to grab my basket here and we are going to choose a card. And the card this week is, I love her. I love her. She's so cute. I forget the name of that painting though. Okay. Turn your face toward the sun and welcome the day. I love that. That's so simple. So simple. And it's so true. You know, wake up every day in a good mood. Wake up every day and just look at the sunrise and say all the things you're grateful for. And I'm telling you, it will set the mood for your entire day and you'll have a splendid day. So before I forget, your keyword is, how about welcome the day? Let's just say that it's not a keyword, it's a key phrase. Welcome the day. So if you say that, you will be entered in the drawing for the Fabulous Monsters cross-stitch chart. Okay, so that's the giveaway. All right, so I didn't have anyone give me numbers for the Chinese fortune teller, so I went to the previous video and I got one from Catherine Birkenbein. She said purple 8-1. And I have it sitting here, but I've moved so much stuff around, now I can't find it. Good golly, Miss Molly. She's a Lou. Okay. I am ready. So, Purple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And number 1, your favorite. Your favorite what, you ask? Well, I finally, because I had a basket or something that had all of these papers in it, and it was supposed to draw the, my favorite blah, blah, blah. And I never could find it, so I just made another one. This is a Park mug. This came out a couple of years ago with Park, and I love these mugs. The size is amazing. So I redid my favorite stuff, and I'm going to draw one out of here. My favorite dad story. I have a lot of them. I might have to throw this back in because there's more than one. Okay, my dad is not with us anymore, and I think about him on a daily basis, and I miss him so much. He was the kindest, sweetest, most gentle man. I really don't remember him like raising his voice. He would say things sternly but calmly, and he never got too excited. He was the opposite of my mom. And I'm like my mom. Ah! Yeah, I'm so much like my mom. I'm like my dad in certain ways, but I'm a lot like my mom too. I'm pretty much a good mix of them too. Okay, so one of my dad's favorite stories, one of my favorite stories about my dad is this. We would go, when the kids were little, we would go over my parents every weekend pretty much, and mostly on Sundays or whatever. This one particular Sunday, we were playing kickball. Ryan was, I hope I didn't tell this story already, but if I did, you're hearing it again. Ryan was probably 5, I'd say 5 years old. And my dad, how'd this go? Oh, yeah. I think I might have pitched it, or my mom did. Anyways, my dad kicked the ball, and I went running for it. I just plowed Ryan right over. Poor kid, because I didn't see him. He was short. I don't know. I was just looking at the ball and trying to get the ball, and I just plowed over Ryan. I didn't hurt him. He was fine. And so when I plowed him over, I fell, and we happened to fall right in the baseline between first and second base. And my dad is running. Okay, so my dad, when I think about this, my dad had to have been in his late 50s, early 60s. I'm going to say early 60s. I don't know. If I sat and did the math, I could figure it out. But I would say early 60s. And he's running, and we're in the way. Instead of like putting on his brakes, he decides he can jump over us. Yeah. My dad was not 8 times. So he jumps over us, and I'm laying on the ground looking up, and me and Ryan are just like, it seemed like it was slow motion, you know, those times when things just seem like they're going really slow. And I'm like, and he gets to the other side of us, and his knees just give out, and he just bam, kind of rolled. And needless to say, that was the end of the game, because he hurt his knees. I mean, we were playing in the grass. It was soft grass in their yard, this one area in their yard. They had their lot, and then they had ended up buying the lot next to them, and there were no trees. And it was kind of low there. So in the spring, like after a rain and stuff, it always seemed to be a little bit moist, and it was always kind of soft. So anyways, so thank God it was like a soft landing, but still he hurt himself, and we had to go. And I'm trying not, we're all trying not to laugh. He was laughing too, but and then I remember we're sitting there afterwards, and he's got ice on his knees, and we're all kind of sitting around talking and laughing about it. And I'm like, what did you think, Dad? Did you seriously think, like, did you grow wings and you thought you could just fly over us and just gently land and make it to second base? It was hilarious. So many good times. I miss those days, with my dad being gone and my mom's down in Florida. It's just, and the kids are grown up, and you know, I'm looking forward to doing those kinds of things with, you know, Ellery and Easton, and as they get older, we can reincarnate some of those, revive some of those games like kickball. Oh, we used to play croquet. I love croquet, bocce ball, all that stuff. I love yard games. So hopefully we'll be doing that again soon. But anyways, guys, I'm rambling now, sorry. So have a wonderful week. I hope you get lots of creative things done, and I hope you're not melting like we are here in Michigan. I don't know what's going on, but I prefer 80s, not 90s. Thank you very much. You know, make it happen, right? If only we could just kind of turn the dial on our own. But I appreciate you being here and watching me each week. And if you're new here, welcome. And don't forget, create every day. Bye now.